For your viewing pleasure, this broadcast of the Municipal Council meeting of Alpena is made possible by the funding provided by the City of Alpena. Thank you for your generosity.
Good evening. Welcome to Alpena City Council meeting on November 6, 2017. Call the order, please.
Johnson?
Here.
Nielsen?
Here.
Nowak?
Here.
Sexton?
Here.
Walagora?
Here. Please rise for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any modifications to the agenda this evening? Approval of the minutes for special session of October 5th, 2017, regular session of October 16th, 2017, and closed session of October 16th, 2017. Any issues? Citizens appearing before council on agenda and non-agenda items are allowed 5 minutes each to address your concerns. This is the only time during our council meeting tonight that you're allowed to address council. If you'd like to do so, please come to the podium and state your name and address for our records.
Good evening, Mayor and fellow council members. I'm Christina Kotaku. I reside at 417 South 2nd Avenue. Thank you for the opportunity to share my comments with the council, continuing on the topic of Alpena working on a proactive environmental sustainability plan. I've come before you several times now on this issue of the environment and our city's role in protecting it, and I've received a lot of great feedback from fellow Alpena residents. Clean air and water are nothing to take for granted, and we all agree that those are things that we want to protect and maintain. Outside of this chamber, I've learned that what little resistance there is to city leadership signing off on plans for our city to be more proactive in lowering carbon emissions lies in a misunderstanding that this is an issue that doesn't or shouldn't concern local government. My comments today are to shed light on the many ways that local governments are crucial first line of protection for clean air and water for our city and its residents. As a private citizen and not an elected official, I only see what plans you and our city leadership present to the public. As encouraged as I am by the environmental safeguards that are already in place here in Alpena, my own experience and research on the subject focuses my awareness that there's so much more that we could be doing. Cities across the country that don't get to reside on the pristine shores of Lake Huron have taken steps and made plans for lowering CO2 emissions, conserving water resources and fossil fuels, and are building for a greener future. I can see Alpena becoming a leader in this regard, a beacon on the bay, if you will. Local governments are the driving force in partnerships with businesses, local organizations, and residents to improve conservation efforts across communities. Signage, recycling, food waste composting, tree planting, protection and creation of green spaces are all locally managed activities. I come bearing a gift for each of you. It's a book on the subject of climate change that I found to be extremely helpful in understanding how we can collectively work on practical solutions that will draw down the climate temperature rises. We know from the findings of a report released by the White House as recently as Friday that human influence is the dominant cause of climate change of the last century. This book, put together by 70 scholars and research fellows from around the world, nearly half with PhDs and others have at least one advanced degree, all with extensive academic and professional experience from some of the world's most respected institutions, This book compiles solutions that not only draw down CO2 emissions, but also lead to stronger economies, produce jobs, save money, prevent pollution, and more. So I'll leave each of you with a book of your own. My plan is to reconvene with all the other concerned citizens that I've been working with, probably pull in some business owners as well, because that's really going to be a big key to be a stakeholder to a plan. And then I'd like to come back before you next time with an agenda item that you can consider for how to move the city of Alpena forward with a plan for environmental sustainability. So, copy for to the council members. Take on and pass it down. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Christina. Anyone else? All right, the consent agenda this evening are bills to be allowed in the amount of $422,881.68. B is 3 mayoral reappointments to the Planning Commission for a 3-year term expiring on November 1st, 2020. Clayton, VanWagoner, Wayne Lewis, and Blake Austin. C is the Huron Humane Society request for approval of the Home for the Howliday fundraiser on November 25th, 2017. D is the approval of budget amendment for police car camera for $5,245. E is the approval for valet parking for Glamour and Gourmet fundraiser on November 9th, 2017.
Move we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Nielsen?
Yes.
Nowak?
Yes.
Sexton?
Yes.
Walagora?
Aye.
Johnson?
Yes.
Thank you. Next up is announcements. A reminder to all city residents previously voting in Precinct 3, which was Presbyterian Church, and Precinct 6, which was St. Bernard's Church. Your new location is St. Anne's Parish Center. You have anything to expound on that?
I did just want to tell the media that results will be a little bit later than normal tomorrow night because we have 4 writing candidates, so everything has to be counted by hand.
Hey, we get paid by the hour.
And thank you for all that work.
Oh, sure.
They can help count.
Skipping down to 14 is new business, which is Michigan Economic Development Corporation, or MEDC, Redevelopment Ready Communities Community Engagement Statement. Adam Paul.
Good evening. For the last couple of years, the City of Alpena has been engaged with the MEDC's Redevelopment Ready Communities, RRC program. This program is an effort for participating communities to have consistent standards in place that are accessible and easy to find and allow potential developers easy access to the information they need to make informed decisions. To that end, there are a number of plans and processes the city is required to have in place to become RRC certified. Many of these plans were items that the City of Alpena has already been completing, such as updated zoning ordinances, comprehensive plans, and CIP. One plan required by the RRC program is a public participation plan or community engagement statement. This is a central document that allows anybody to see the efforts and various tools that the City of Alpena utilizes for public outreach. While the City of Alpena has always made efforts to engage the community as much as possible, they include the public in the decision-making process, a centralized document describing these efforts has not existed. By having these methods of engagement in one location, both the public and city staff can better evaluate the current methods used and potential methods of engagement that could be used in the future. The included plan outlines the objectives of community engagement, the regulations the city has to follow, the key stakeholders, the various review bodies within the city, and the methods of community participation, and how the city communicates the results of that participation. The community engagement statement was approved by the Planning Commission at their October meeting, and now staff would request the council approve the community engagement statement, and if that happens, we'll get it posted online. And I'd also subsequently add that the list of stakeholders, key stakeholders, I did leave the EDA off somehow. I think I had it on there at one point, but somehow it got deleted, so I'd like to add that back on. And then there was a minor spelling modification that I made. It analyzes instead of analysis. So I would be more than happy to answer any questions regarding this, but this is one of our last steps towards the RRC certification.
What else do you have left to get the certification?
Just about 2 or 3 smaller items. I need to get Jim Clarish to do something for me, and hopefully by the end of the year we'll have that done. I'm actually meeting with them tonight. They're in happen to be in Alpena, one of their new staff members. So after this, I'm going to go see where they're at.
I didn't see anything missing from the document. That's good. Looks like a lot of work.
Thank you.
I move we approve the community engagement statement as presented.
Second.
Noak?
Yes.
Sexton?
Yes.
Walagora?
Aye.
Johnson?
Yes.
Nielsen?
Yes.
Okay. I move we adjourn to closed session to discuss water and sewer litigation.
Second. My mouse stopped working.
Sexton?
Okay.
Walagora?
I froze.
Johnson?
Oh, yes.
Nielsen?
Yes.
Noak?
Yes.
Keep it up.